Alright, welcome back to the channel. We got all 31 arcs of One Piece, at least in the anime, and we gonna be ranking them today, so there will be a spoiler warning, as we'll mention right now, but I think I do have all the arcs in order, so you can stop watching whatever arc you're at or whatever, but yeah, let's just get right into it. Romance Dawn, the intro arc of one of the greatest shows to ever grace the Earth. I don't know. I don't want to talk too much. I don't want to make this video super long because y'all know me. So I'm just gonna give like the spiel. I'm ranking it just like in an actual order, no tier today. Like literally how I think it is. I think this defines Luffy as a pirate moving forward. I mean, without this arc, like would we have One Piece? We meet Shanks. Like there's just so many good things about this arc. He eats the gum fruit, and I'm definitely gonna be switching this list around because this is very tough. Obviously it's an intro arc, so how interesting can it really be? It's really important now, so I'll throw it in the middle for now. But yeah. So next we have Orangetown. So the buggy, shenanigans going down. We meet Buggy, who is seemingly a joke character and still a joke character throughout the entire series. But it's cool. We get to see a lot of Nami in there. She betrays, does whatever. I mean, it's really not too interesting. I'd probably put it towards the bottom tier, but I pretty much like all of the arcs here. They all have some significance, but yeah. All right, Syrup Village. So where we meet Usopp. I love Usopp in the beginning, dude. He's so good, and Kaya and Captain Kuro, and I love that arc of it's just you get to really see the crew like kind of come together when Usopp joins, and it warms my heart. That being said, it's definitely better than Orangetown. I don't know if I'd throw it in the middle tier yet, but it's a sad arc, but it's a great introduction to Usopp's character of the boy who kind of cried wolf is basically Usopp. But yeah, next we have the Baratier. Dude, oh my gosh, I love the Baratier arc. I'd probably throw it in the middle. Meeting Sanji, the fight with Don Krieg. Sanji, like I still remember Sanji makes food for that one guy, and I know he will return, bro. I'm caught up, by the way, on like the manga, so I don't see Egghead down here, but we'll get to that later. So Baratier is great arc. I just love the location. I love Red Leg Zeph, Black Leg. Like this is just, it's a great arc to Sanji's character, and I just love it. Next, Arlong Park. Arlong Park is the arc that made me fall in love with the show, and I'm sure many of you can relate to that because when Nami cries for help, like Luffy, help me, puts the hat on her, I'm your friend. Like that is rafts. That's when the show. This arc is what gets you hooked on the show. Luffy being a careful, like he loves his crewmate. Nami's like the entire time. Nami's like pushing him away, but Luffy like they're friends. Like oh my god, Arlong Park is awesome. Good villain, good scenes, great of the best of the East Blue Saga by far. But Logtown, I mean, you see who's on the cover of Logtown. We got Dragon on the cover of Logtown. The place of the beginning and the end where Gold Roger was executed. We meet Smoker, we meet Tashigi. We see silhouettes of Crocodile, Buggy. Like, there's so many things we see. So many of these arcs come back to showing, like, where Gold Rogers was executed, and that's Logtown. I mean, I don't know if the arc is super important to the story, but the setting is very important to the story. I'd throw it like maybe an I don't think I like it as much as the Baratier. I really love the Baratier. I'm gonna throw that above Romance Dawn for now. But yeah, Logtown could probably sit in the middle tier for now. So now Reverse Mountain is basically they learn that the Grand Line's separated by they're going into the Grand Line separated by the Red Line, and they go up Reverse Mountain, and then they come down to see Laboon, who just has the craziest lore you'll ever have of a whale in any anime. It's just a fun arc. You get to meet Crocus, who's really important. Like down these later arcs, you learn just how important Crocus is. But like a lot of these One Piece arcs at the time, they seem like like nothing interesting's happening. But then you flash back once you're more forward in the story, and you're like, wow, that was an important part. Like, but actually, just watching Reverse Mountain wasn't. I don't know. It was cool to see Laboon, so I'll slide it in like the fourth tier. I don't know. There's 31 arcs. There's a lot of arcs. All right, next we have Whiskey Peak. So this is pretty much the introduction of, the crocodile scheme in Baroque works. Um, the pirates try to set them up, but like obviously Zoro and Luffy, they're strong enough to beat everyone. This is where we meet Vivi, who's so important in the end game right now, which is crazy. All right, Whiskey Peak it's cool because you like learn that like Luffy beat Arlong. You're like, okay, Luffy's strong, but then Luffy like I don't know. Whiskey Peak is it's cool to learn because this is like the first thing off of the Grand Line. Um, I'd probably throw it. Probably throw it like here in between Orangetown and Sierra Village. I don't know. Nothing really crazy happens here, I don't think, but yeah. Next, Little Garden. Oh wait, Little Garden. All right, Little Garden. We meet Dory and Broggy, I think his name is, the two giants from Elbaf. Oh my god! If you read the manga, you know this arc is important as hell now. But yeah, Little Garden. Awesome introduction to giants living on the Grand Line, dude. We get to see Mr. 3. We get to hear Mr. 2. Like, which is, Little Garden is an awesome arc, and the lore behind it is, dude, I love One Piece lore. I'd probably throw Little Garden, right behind Baratie, probably. All right, next we have Drum Island, where we meet your boy Chopper. So Chopper, like, it's a cool arc, and I think the island looks sick as hell. Dalton's a cool character. The granny, whatever. The granny who takes care of Chopper. Dr. Heerlook was cool. And that final scene where they rain the cherry blossoms over. It's a satisfying moment. Chopper's got it's crazy because Chopper's a sad backstory, but he probably has like one of the nicest backstories like in the show. Besides like Luffy, who actually is not too bad of a story, but so we have where would I put Drum Island? Like, it's a cool arc. It gets you like it's more of an introductory arc to the Grand Line. Like there's these islands, a Winter Island. It was cool, but I don't know if it's like crazy. I'd probably throw it like down there. All right, I'm being like really critical, so hopefully these arcs will start getting put up in the top here. All right, next, here we go. Now we're starting off with absolute Alabaster Crocodile, and oh my. This is Alabaster's like the arc of just like Whiskey Peak is in there. Like, it's great. Drum Islands, they meet Chopper, joins along for Alabaster. You meet Ace in Alabaster. Vivi comes along. You meet the King Nefertari. Like, oh my god, you meet Pelt. There's so many characters in Alabaster, and I love how it's like a sandy looking like thing. Like, it's sandy. I love the way Alabaster is just like it's the blueprint for the rest of the arcs of the series of like Luffy losing to the villain, then learning something, then beating it. Like, that type of. It's definitely above Arlong. I don't know if it makes it into the top 5 for me, but I like to move stuff around, so I'll throw it it's probably 6th for now for me. All right, next we have Jaya. All right, so Jaya and like Skypiea kind of go together, but Jaya is. If this is insane how like Jaya and Skypiea were by far the most boring arcs for me personally. They're the most boring arcs. But looking at the end game of One Piece, bro, oh my god, they were the most important arcs. It's insane how like Oda does this stuff, dude. Oda is crazy, bro. Oh my gosh. All right, but Jaya was cool. We learned about Nolan the Liar, Nolan the Liar's ancestor. We learned about the city of gold that might be in the sky. We learned, oh my gosh. Nolan the Liar is such a good oh my gosh. But that being said, the arc is not that good. Like, it's very slowed down, and I love some of the characters in Jai. We get to meet Bellamy as well. We get to meet Blackbeard as well. Like, oh my, the age of pirates dreaming, haha, it'll never come to an end. That was a great scene. That being said, like, Jai is actually not bad. I'd probably, where would I throw it? Probably above Romance Dawn. Probably just like dead in the middle. All right, next we have Skypiea. And like, it pains me to do this, but it's definitely down in the bottom tier of arcs just because it's dragged out so long. But looking back, none like the final arcs of the show are going to be based around Skypiea's ideology, and if you're caught up, you know why Skypiea is so damn important. That's all I got to say. All right, Water 7. All right, this might be a hot take, but I think Water 7 is easily a top 3 arc in the show. I think it has the best pacing out of any arc. So fight me on that. Besides maybe Egghead, but you know we'll get to that. But I think it's the best pacing. I love the location. Like it's like a water. It's like Venice. Like water in the streets. Like it's such a cool thing. Like we meet Ice Pops. We meet CP9. The twist of CP9 is so good, dude. Up until this point is the best twist in the show. So this is like the number one thing that stands out. We meet Frankie as well. The number one thing. Oh my. Sorry, I just keep going back and forth. Usopp versus Luffy fight. Like so many good things about this arc. And the number one thing about it is the pacing. I think it is the best paced arc in the show. All right, next we have Enies Lobby, where Luffy and his crew take on the world government. They declare war against the world government. And Margaritas might know that Enies Lobby is also maybe very, very important. Like, way too important to the series. I won't get into any spoilers, but Enies Lobby is a great, like, I mean, he hits Gear 2 in it. Basically, one of the peaks of Luffy is, like, he hits Gear 2, and all of a sudden, he can take out all these CP9 agents. He fights Rob Lucci. Great fight. The Going Merry, like, is pretty much dying during this. Like, it's a great, like, battle and action, like, run and save Robin. Like, oh, I love Enies Lobby, dude. It's a great arc. It's probably in the 6 through 12 range for me. All right, next we have Post Enies Lobby. We learned so much information, though, like, Luffy's father is, Dragon. But Garp never says that Dragon's his son, so it's just, there's just so many things that are not said that post Enies Lobby, we get to meet, like, Kobe and his new, and Helmeppo, and the 6 powers, I should say, of, the military training, and it's so cool to see Kobe and, like, Luffy, like, spar for that little session. You're like, damn, like, Luffy really has gotten so strong, but, Kobe's gotten really strong as well. I love the information dump. I'm a sucker for like information dumps and learning about the world. Like honestly, like sometimes over the action of what's happening. Cause I'm a sucker for lore. I'd probably throw it behind Enies Lobby. Cause it's just that good. We get to see Garp. Like it's awesome. Alright, next we have this is just the Davy back fight with the slow guy. Afro Luffy. It's the worst. It's worse than Skypiea, I will say. The only thing is its saving grace is that it's so short. But yeah, I don't know. I think people will agree with me. It's last. All right, Thriller Bark. This is where it's also a very bad arc, in my opinion. There's a couple redeeming factors about it, like Shadow Luffy. Gecko Moria just isn't an interesting character. He just is not interesting. So it's kind of hard to. It's like a Halloween arc, like Halloween-esque arc. I don't know. It's not that good. But the biggest redeeming factor, like I said about Enies Lobby, the post-Thriller Bark. Oh my god, where we see Kuma and Zoro do that shit for Luffy. That elevates the arc. I don't see post-Thriller Bark, so I'm counting that as part of Thriller Bark. That elevates this arc so much that it's in a 6. I can't though. I can't, because the actual arc sucks. See, I'm torn on Thriller Bark because everyone knows that ending scene might be one of the best scenes in One Piece, hands down. But the arc itself is so bad and so slow, and like I just want to get out. But it's cool to meet Brooke and see Moria's power. Like I don't know. I'm just gonna throw in like the back of 13 to 20. I'm not sure. All right, next we have Sabaody Archipelago. I love the location of Sabaody Archipelago. We get to see them fight Kizaru. We get to see the pacifistas for the first time. We get to meet Law. We get to meet like the worst generation characters. Luffy punches a celestial dragon. Oh my god. We get to meet Sentomaru along with Kizaru, I guess I already said. And for the first time, like in the show, like Luffy is outclassed and he can't win. Like he can't win against this overwhelming force of Kizaru and Kuma. And he watches as all of his people get, flung to different places. And if y'all caught up, y'all know the places that he went to. Like, I'm crazy. Oh, no. Alright, but Sabaody's awesome. And I love Sabaody, dude. It's a great arc. I'd probably throw it, would I throw it above Enies Lobby? I don't know. Would I? I'm a sucker for information dumps, dude. I think I would. I'm going to throw it in the 6 through 12 range. Alright, next we have Amazon Lily. So this is where Luffy basically ends up after being flung. and he meets Boa. So that's where that ship starts, the the pirate empress or whatever, Boa. And this is kind of where we first have the whereabouts of hockey, and they imbue their arrows with hockey. It's like, okay, this power system. Um, it's not too interesting of an arc, but it is cool to see like these Amazons, woman, people fighting, and the crown jewels of Luffy gets thrown in jail and stuff. It's a fun arc. Like I guess it's a good change of pace from Sabayoti, which was like depressing at the end, to like Amazon Lily. Okay, now we need to get stronger. We need to fight. Um, I don't think that being said, I don't think it's like a crazy like good arc. I'd throw it probably like there. I don't know. It's like I said, it's cool to see these characters in Amazon Lily, but it's whatever. All right, next we have Impel Down. So this begins the 2 arc shredder of Impel Down to Marineford. So Impel Down, awesome, awesome arc. Soche Borena Mugiwara. We get to meet Crocodile again, and we get to meet Jinbei. We get to see Buggy. We get to see Mr. Two. Like, oh my god, there's the ending where Warden Magellan fight. Like, honestly, the pace isn't the greatest, but the action in it is so good, and I love the look of an underwater like prison. I don't know, it's pretty awesome. I'd probably throw it in the 6 through 12 range. Like, I don't know. I think it belongs. I don't think I'd throw it above Ennie's Lobby or post Ennie's Lobby, but yeah, I'll throw it there. Next, Marineford. So this is the consensus #1 arc. If you ask anyone, this is the climax of the show. I will agree. Marineford is the climax of the show so far. But the only thing that kills it is the pacing. Luffy is running for so damn long to try to save his brother. Like, I'll admit, the peaks of it are like, spoiler warning, like Ace dying. Like, that, no one saw that. I was like, dude, oh my god. They literally ran all the way up there to free Ace just to, oh, I don't know. But I didn't mention they met Ivankov too. So like Ivankov joins Luffy and them to try to save, and Jinbei tries to save Ace. They get all the way up to there. We get to see Whitebeard. Oh my god. I'll throw it at 1. See, I'm not too much of like a hype beast, but this is the greatest arc in One Piece. There's no doubt about it. Yeah. Next, post-war. Post-war, Luffy comes to the realization that Ace is dead. Basically that. And I guess this will include like the childhood of us learning about Sabo and stuff. It's so sad to see Luffy, like, because Luffy is such a happy character the entire series, and then his brother dies, and you get like this shell of a man, and Jinbei knocks some sense into him, which I love. So then he realizes he still has his crew, and he needs to get stronger to protect his crew, and it's just the post-war. Like I said, I'm such a sucker for like post-arc like information / things that happen. I love it. I absolutely adore it. In fact, I'll probably throw Impel Down above the post Ennie's Lobby. I'll be honest. I'll throw the posts together. I think that's pretty fair. All right, next we have Return to Sabayoti. So this is basically where all the crew meets each other. We get to see the new designs of everyone. I pretty much like the designs of everyone besides Frankie's a little goofy because I love Frankie in Water 7, dude. But they needed like a goofy thing they could sell action figures of. I'm not too bad at it. We get to see Rayleigh one more time. We get to see Shaki one more time. We get to see the coded ship. It's a cool arc to see, like, okay, people have gotten stronger and we're here to fight. So yeah, would I throw it like above post-war? It's really like captivating though. It captivates your interest because you want to see like how strong these people got. So I'd probably throw it here. I'm gonna move like Alabaster up here just because I think it makes the jump. Next, after Return to Sabayoti, we have Fishman Island, which they were talking about Fishman Island since Water 7 with the granny, the monster granny. So finally we get here. And honestly, it's not that great of an arc, but it's awesome to see their powers shown off and Luffy like showing off his hockey basically. And like, yeah, like Shirahoshi and whatever is pretty interesting. Like the mermaid who can, summon the sea beast. We learn that she's an ancient weapon or whatever. But Horty Jones as the villain is just, I think he might be one of the worst villains. It just doesn't really make sense. He looks up to Arlong, we learn, and like Luffy beats Arlong without haki, but struggles so much to fight against like a medicined up Horty. I don't know. It's more of a show off arc, and I'll give Oda that. Like it's you just want to show off these powers. So I don't know. I throw it like in the middle there, I guess. Next, Punk Hazard. So this is where we pretty much start the Wano saga. So Punk Hazard, we meet Caesar. This is the battlegrounds of the two admirals who fought, Aokiji and whatever the other guy's name. You know his name. But yeah, Punk Hazard, great arc, dude. Awesome arc. It's so sad, like what Caesar's doing, bro. But the fights are cool. It's the children who are like getting. It's just it's a necessary arc. We meet Law there. Law has some sick ass fights, dude. Um, this is one of the arcs where it's like the fights are like, yeah, it's pretty cool. Um, Law fights like that guy who's like imbued all in armament hockey. I'd probably throw it like the uh over post war, yeah. Over Impel Down, I don't know. Probably like there. Punk Hazard's cool, but I don't know. All right, next we have Dressrosa. I think Dressrosa is it like stands alone from the other arcs. Like it has this beauty about it, which is crazy because Doflamingo is like the most menace of a villain he's faced yet with the string fruit. Like, oh my, but it's really dragged out, and that is the only problem. That's the only problem that Oda faces. Like, there's so much good content here that like even a really dragged out arc can be saved by a scene, or like seeing Sabo for the first time again, getting the flame fruit, seeing Gear 4. Like, there's so like this arc is so long, it's so dragged out, but like the end result of Luffy and Law beating Doflamingo is awesome, dude. And I think I'd probably throw it like here. I just love the arc in itself, and that's when we lead over to Zoe. All right, Zoe. So that, the big ass elephant, not me. We got the minks living on it. Dude, one of the biggest twists in the show is when Jack comes to Zoe, one of Kaido's men, and like is looking for Raizo. And the entire time, like the audience is like, like they definitely don't have him. They don't have him. Lily Jack like pretty much kills so many of them and like injures so many of them, just for them to finally whittle out Jack with Zoe like slapping him, and then they reveal Raizo is safe, and I'm like, oh my god, the Minks like are such trusted allies, dude. I think the Zoe pacing is it's so much better than Dressrosa. So I'd probably throw it above these arcs here. I'd throw it above above Little Garden, yeah, above the Baratier. Would I throw it above Return to Sabaody? Probably. I don't know. I'd throw it like there. I'm gonna throw Return to Sabaody down here, but I think it fits pretty nicely right there. All right, next we move forward to Hulcake Island. So this is where we get the clash with Big Mom. We get Sanji's reveal of he's a Vinsmoke, and oh my gosh, it's a little goofy of an arc, and like it kind of feels slightly out of place when like we're trying to take down Kaido. Like Law said, we're trying to take down Kaido, so it's a little like it's like a side quest, but it becomes a main quest because you're an enemy with Big Mom. We meet like Pudding, we meet Kataguri. Dude, great Luffy Kataguri fight is where we truly see Luffy shine. Um, it's like I said, it's really goofy how Big Mom has like all these things that like come to life. That being said, it's still really cool to see Big Mom, and this is the first time we're really staring at an emperor like besides Shanks. But like, yeah, we're seeing an emperor, like her power. Luffy can't even touch her basically. I'd throw it above Zoe probably. I'm gonna throw Zoe down here. All right, next we have the Reverie. So I don't know if I really count this as an arc, but like it's like once you're like more caught up in the manga, you see like more stuff that happened at the Reverie. So fuck it, spoiler warning for all y'all who aren't caught up to the manga and shit. But the Reverie, because if you're not caught up to the manga, bro, then whatever. But the Reverie, like, some crazy ass shit goes on in the background. I don't know if I'm actually gonna say any spoilers, but I just wanted preferences just in case I do. But we get the outlaw of the 7 warlords basically. So that forces Hawkeye and Crocodile to team up with Buggy, which is wild. Shirahoshi, like, they try to steal Shirahoshi like 3 times, bro. Like with one of Kuma's like whatever CX Mark 3s, whatever. But we get to see and we get to learn that there's good and bad on every side of every situation, and that being the celestial dragon actually trying to save her, and then unfortunately gets put to death later. But the Reverie, it's cool arc. I like I said, it's not really like an arc. There's no, it's not like dedicated time straight to Reverie. Like it's more of in the background type stuff. So I'll just throw it like above Thriller Bark. I don't know. All right, next we have Wano Country. Wano, it belongs to top 5. Again, it kind of suffers from that pacing issue, but the source material and the content in Wano is by far one of the best in the entire show. We get to see Gear 5, and Gear 5 puts it above Alabaster. Does it put it above Water 7 for me? I'm a sucker for Water 7, alright? I'm not going to put it above Water 7, but the stuff that happens in it is legendary. Gear 5 is so fun to watch. Watching him train with Captain Kidd, with Law there, like, oh my, Momonosuke, there's just so much in it, and it's just absolutely wild. But yeah, I don't have Egghead down here, but preference for Egghead. That Egghead is going to be my favorite arc in the show, above Marineford. It is insanely good right now. Insanely good. But yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say. Let me edit my list around so it actually kind of fits this. So this is my list. Tell me what you think about it. I don't think, like, some of these arcs, like this one, Skypiea, like, well, I guess just this one is pretty much just bad, but there's something to love in all these arcs, and it's such a journey. And dude, Oda is such a goat. He puts out these chapters he takes 2 weeks off at most. Like, this dude is pumping chapter after chapter after chapter off. He started this like 22 years ago, dude, and he's still pumping these chapters. Dude, I love One Piece, and I hope you do too. I'll see you guys.